Them. Today we'll be going through food names in English, Creole, and where possible, my local language, Madingo. Ever thought to yourself, I wonder what this yummy food is called in English or in Creole or even in my language, Madingo? Well, stay tuned because you're about to find out. I'll be going through food names, food continents in Sierra Leone, West Africa, and maybe some other countries that I don't even know of. Oh my god, excuse my manners. My name is Sarrah, as this box is telling you. If you're new here, welcome, and I really hope I can make you stay. If you're thinking about it, then click that subscribe button and that bell by it so you don't miss future videos just like this. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for being here again. You're the reason I'm confident enough to make more videos, so don't forget to like this one. Let's start at introductory level. First on my list is tamarind. In Creole we call it tombi, and I suppose it's the same for Madingo, or I haven't just found the Madingo word for tombi out yet. So what we do with tombi is that we flavor our ginger drinks, which we call ginger beer. We flavor our rice porridge, which we call espa. We also flavor our rice pudding, which we call sati. Tamarind can stand on its own as a perfect drink. I know we use it for flavoring. It qualifies as a standalone drink, and we call it tombi taste, tombi juice. In other West African countries like the Gambia and maybe even Senegal, the tombi or the tamarind is also used to make a sour sauce that would be served alongside one of my favorites, benachin, which is also a version of jollof. Next on my list is eggplants or aubergines. Please help me in English, and giblocks in Creole, and in Madingo it's called jadokumba. So the eggplant can be used as what I like to call a volumizer to our stew. And while it's not a thickening agent, it can be added to our soups to give more texture to the soup, making it less watery. One way that I like to cook it, which may or may not be so common, is chopping it up into big chunks and just throwing it into my one pot or my jollof. So as we progress into intermediate, we're going to start with millet, and not any type of millet, barnyard millet, which is in Creole funde, which is in Madingo funny. For the longest time I used to just think, funde is millet, but then I wanted to be sure for this video, and I saw that there is such a huge variety of millet, and this particular one is the barnyard millet. The barnyard millet or the funde is a type of grain that we eat just like we eat rice together with a type of sauce or a soup, but it has less starch or maybe no starch at all, so it's mostly eaten by people with diet restrictions. Next is the cloves. I mean, that is common. It is siminji in Creole, it is Sinja in Madingo. So this universal spice we use to flavor our ginger beer alongside the tombi, of course, but then also it can be used with essential oils for aromatherapy, I guess, at home. Next on my list is Bunga shad in English. Yep, you guessed it, it's Bunga in Creole. I mean, I was thrown by that. I really thought there has to be an English name. There had to be an English name, not Bunga, but then apparently it is Bunga. It has a lot of bones, so I thought we made the name up by calling it Bunga because it has bones. Anyway, in Madingo it's just called Je, and Je means fish. I don't think it has a specific name in Madingo, so let's just go with Je. So Bunga is a fish that we like to eat dried or smoked. I think smoked would be the appropriate term. So we just pick out the major bones. It has a lot of tiny bones, but I used to be terrified of them, but it's really useless. You can just chew them, really just chew your food properly. So they're chewable bones. We just add it to our sauce like that. Another way that we do use bunga is we toast it lightly and pound it so it becomes powdery, and we add it as a flavoring to other type of condiments. I must say and emphasize that bunga is very important, and this is me just quoting my mom. My mom thinks that bunga should be added to every sauce, soup, plasas, whatever. It is such a flavorful fish that it just locks in all of the flavors. No matter how many types of different flavors you have in the sauce, the bunga just ties it all together. So it is a very, I would shame my mom if I don't say it's a very important very important fish to add flavor to your sauce and soups. Next on my list is locust beans in English. In Creole it's kenda. In Madingo it's sumbara. And I shouldn't forget that. That is my favorite. So the locust beans, like every other bean, is in a pod surrounded by some yellow powdery, very sweet something that you can just eat from the tree. I think our people just advise you to sun dry it for a day or two, but then you can just eat it. But you can't eat the seeds or the beans. But what you can do with them is you sun dry them for a few days or whatever. You sun dry them, you toast them and pound them. While toasting, you can just really crush it like that with your 2 fingers. So you pound the beans until they become powdery, and you just add salt to taste really. You can add bunga for an extra kick or whatever, but the locust beans has a very strong, a very unique but lovely flavor. So the unsalted, extra flavored version can be added to soups to flavor a soup, but then the salted versions are stored in a canister somewhere at home, airtight, to be added to the famous lafidi, which is just basically rice and steamed vegetables, including pepper, and it's just added to the side alongside another powdery substance, which is the beni, which is also next on the list. So next on the list, sesame seeds, which is beni in Creole. It is bene in Madingo. Did I say the Madingo name for Kenda? Yes, I did. So it is bene in Madingo. So the sesame seeds can be toasted, pounded into a powdery form. Not too powdery, but it can be pounded and used just like the kenda with the lafidi. It can also be fermented and smoked, I believe, to make a type of flavoring called ogi that can be added to our leafy greens or any type of sauce. Really, it's a type of flavoring, so you use as you please. Sesame seeds can also be added to melted sugar to make a really nice sweet treat. Now, the advanced. I need to sit tight for this. But first, a bit of background. When I started the research for this video, I asked a colleague of mine from work. I was like, hey, is there any food or food condiment that you would like to know the English name for? And he said, yes, one of them actually. He said, yeah. I was like, yeah. He was like, Sokoto Yokoto. I was like, how do I start to talk to Google to find the English name for Sokoto Yokoto? But guess what? I found the English name for Sokoto Yokoto, and I really hope that I am right about this. But please feel free in all of the things that I've said. I want to learn too, and I did research, so I may have been stared wrong. Do in the comments below correct me if you think that I am wrong. Okay, so Sokoto Yokoto in Krio and probably in Madingo, the English name, drum roll, is amaranth leaves. Oh my god, I'm so excited. So it is amaranth leaves. So it's a type of leafy green that we cook into a sauce to eat alongside rice. But it's not so common in the capital city though, so if you're watching from Freetown, you may be wondering, I've heard that, but I haven't tried it. Well, it's not so common in Freetown. Next on the list is not so advanced, and that is the sorrel. The sorrel, which is called bisab in Creole, and I don't think there's a Madingo name for it. There probably is, but I just couldn't find anyone who knew it. So the sorrel, which is a plant and it has the flower. So the flower bit makes a yummy juice. So you just boil the flowery bit from the sorrel plant, boil it, strain it, flavor as desired with lime, ginger, sugar. You've got a perfect drink. Best served chilled, okay? Next on my list is what we call the June plum. In Creole, we call it chuk chuk plum. Chuk chuk because it's prickly, it has the prickly seed inside. It has all those, it's thorny. It has a thorny seed inside. I'm sure there's a Madingo name for it, but my grandma is late. She would have been the best person for this, but my mother-in-law, I give her all the credit for the Madingo words, by the way. So the June plum, the chuk chuk plum, there's really not much to say about it. You just peel it and eat it like that. Or there's something that we like to do, which is to make it up like a salad. We just add salt or a bouillon, maggi, or lime, pepper, just flavor as desired. We call it grown soup. And recently I learned that it's not even grown soup, it's raw soup. So grown soup, raw soup, I don't know, but that's just how we eat it. Next. So this one is a member of the eggplant family, but I could not find the name for it, the English name for it. So do help me out in the comments below. I couldn't find the name. It's Jakato and her big brother Mokabi. So Jakato, Mokabi. But for some reason, when you Google Jakato, a lot of results will come up for Jakato as is. So probably the English name is Jakato, but I don't know. As for Mokabi, I saw something around the lines of bitter tomato, and I can understand that because it's green. It looks like unripe tomato. I don't know, guys, help me here. So Jakato cooks easily. It can just be thrown into a soup with the skin and all. It cooks well. If it's too big, it can be halved and thrown into the soup. Mokabi, on the other hand, this guy is not so easy to cook. No, you have to peel it and you have to slice it thinly and you have to rub it with salt just to make it soft, and it really serves the same purpose as the eggplant I explained to you about earlier. It just serves as a volumizer to stews and just thickens your soup, that's all. Oh my god, I wish there was a mic that I could drop. Drops mic, because I'm done. So if you made it till the end, thanks for watching. I'm going to leave you with peace. Assalamu alaikum. Bye.